After certain movies in many actors' lives, their careers either sharply ascend or, conversely, go downhill. Today, I would like to recall such a circumstance within the life of a well-known Belgian actor. We are talking, of course, about the movie Street Fighter. His participation in the shooting of the successful film dealt a blow to the career of Jean-Claude Van Damme, a blow from which he could not recover. It is believed that of the proposals Van Damme simultaneously received to star in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, he had to agree to the second option. Let's try to make sense of why. It is a well-known fact that the main criterion for Van Damme's choice to star in Street Fighter was money. The Belgian was paid more, with the film's budget of $35 million. However, there is a nuance, which is usually forgotten, condemning Van Damme for his short-sightedness. Specifically in 1993, when he received the initial offers, the series Street Fighter was much more popular than Mortal Kombat. It's likely that these circumstances also played a role. Street Fighter II sold 14 million copies. The first game in the series, Mortal Kombat, did not have numbers as high. The second edition had high numbers, but this factor didn't blow up the sales charts until 1994, when the Street Fighter movie was already in full swing. Van Damme himself did not worry much about his choice. As the movie starring him in the lead role gathered more and more money, the Belgian star fever only advanced. The director of the movie Street Fighter, Steven E. de Souza, later stated that Van Damme constantly disrupted the shooting, often abusing cocaine. Moreover, he would frequently leave the set whenever he wanted. The director and writer had to change the script on the fly, trying to create extra episodes without Van Damme. He does not deny such accusations. According to him, at the time he was spending more than $10,000 a week on cocaine. The saddest thing here is that at the beginning of his career, Van Damme successfully fought his drug addiction. He did everything in his power for the success of the movies in which he starred. Van Damme became popular by participating in the movie Bloodsport, for which he received only $25,000. The movie had a very low budget and was shot by the studio Canon Group, who were not particularly invested in the film. When the footage was brought to the studio, the producers Menahem Golan and Yoram Globus saw no potential in the tape. They decided to throw it on the shelf with the intention of later releasing Bloodsport directly on video. Van Damme didn't like this strategy and asked for all the footage and locked himself for several weeks in the editing room, where he completely re-edited the existing movie. When he gave the producers a new version of Bloodsport a month later, the producers saw a completely different movie, and the picture was immediately sent to the movie theaters. With a budget of $1.5 million, Bloodsport collected $12 million at the US box office alone. After the release of the movie, Van Damme rose in popularity, waking up famous. Impressed by the talents of the Belgian, producers of Canon Group offered him 3 movies to choose from: Delta Squad 2, American Ninja 3, and Cyborg. Van Damme chose Cyborg. Again with Cyborg, the $2 million movie did not satisfy the bosses, and Van Damme settled at the editing table again. The new version made by Van Damme was better, and Cyborg was sent to theaters. The movie grossed more than $10 million. However, this did not save the Canon Group from bankruptcy. But Van Damme's career rapidly gained momentum, as well as his ego. But the third time Van Damme moonlighted as an editor was for a very different reason. In 1992, being already a big star, Jean-Claude Van Damme starred in John Woo's action movie Hard Target. Unlike Van Damme, Universal Pictures was completely satisfied with the received version of John Woo's picture. On test screenings of the film, many viewers noted that Hard Target turned out to be a movie not about Van Damme, but about the 2 antagonists, played by Lance Henriksen and Arnold Vosloo. The audience liked the couple so much that the bosses of Universal were seriously thinking about a prequel dedicated to those 2. With the right of final word, as the movie's main star, Jean-Claude went to the editing room and heavily altered the film, sending almost 30 minutes of footage to the trash can. The main blow was Henriksen's and Vosloo's screen time. In interviews, a frustrated Hong Kong director John Woo would later praise Van Damme for his hard work and criticize him for his inflated sense of self-importance. Throughout the Hollywood part of his career, Woo never recovered from such brazen interference in his directing. Almost all of his interviews would include the obligatory complaint about too much influence of producers and stars on the director's work in America. Despite all this, the film still became a box office hit, leading Van Damme to believe he was doing everything right. After Hard Target, Van Damme had another hit in Time Cop, box office receipts of which became the best in the career of the Belgian. After that, the actor's conceit went off the charts, and hence Street Fighter happened. Capcom, The studio that produced the computer game and co-financed the movie Street Fighter was furious with the actor's behavior. After all, the studio paid Van Damme's fee of $8 million. The entire budget of Mortal Kombat was only $20 million. New Line Cinema working on Mortal Kombat simply could not offer Van Damme a similar fee. But even the Capcom executives could not do anything with the Belgian star, who added the affair with Kylie Minogue to all his other antics on the set. The affair with Van Damme, by the way, did not prevent Minogue from being the favorite of the entire crew. Van Damme always appeared on the set with a bottle of whiskey in his hand and an exorbitant ego for which everyone hated him. Kylie constantly bought the entire crew drinks and burgers, for which everyone adored her. This behavior of Van Damme, of course, quickly became known to every producer in Hollywood, and very few wished to work with him after this movie. Nobody wrote scripts for him anymore, and nobody called him to star in movies. Following Street Fighter, which did not meet expectations, but was still not considered a failure, Van Damme starred in mostly B-rated action movies. He even tried to shoot a few films by himself. Van Damme had a chance to save his career, or so it seemed. His final chance was Double Team. Initially, Double Team was supposed to be a very different movie from the one we all know. Don Jacoby's original script, called The Colony, was about an island off the coast of Greece that was used as a safe haven for CIA agents. One of the agents trapped on the island escapes from security to get to his mortal enemy, whom the agency is covering up for. Only a small episode of the original script remained in the final movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme claims he signed up for the original script because it was a harsh and uncompromising spy action movie. However, after Mickey Rourke and Dennis Rodman joined the movie, Paul Mons went to rewrite the script, and it turned into a cartoon. The reason why Van Damme did not oppose as many strong changes in the script is quite clear. The actor's career was cracking at the seams, all the movies were flopping, and Double Team looked like one of the last chances for him to stay afloat, if not the last. Basketball player Dennis Rodman was at the height of his popularity in 1996, and many Hollywood studios wanted him in their projects. At the time, no one suspected that Rodman's media popularity would not give any bonuses to movies with his participation. So his appearance in the cast was a partially good sign. A similar situation was observed with Mickey Rourke. The actor changed in the mid-90s and went through several scandals. But after the Bullet with Tupac Shakur, Mickey was again remembered. Critics praised the actor, claiming that Rourke finally returned. As a result, none of the bonuses did work, and Double Team failed miserably at the box office, and American critics destroyed it. The film was the last movie released for Van Damme, released on over 2,000 screens simultaneously. Even Universal Soldier 2, released a couple of years later, was not given so many screenings, and turned out to be the actor's last movie to hit American cinemas. The next time Van Damme's films gained popularity was only 13 years later, with The Expendables 2. Interestingly, the failure of Double Team also buried a fantastic action film, Disgusting, developed by Universal Studios. Jean-Claude Van Damme was attached to the project as the main star. The script by screenwriters Troy Neighbors and Steven Feinberg, who gained fame with the movie Fortress, was about a group of United Nations professionals investigating Red Cross workers' disappearance in the Himalayas. Strangely, the professionals who had climbed into the mountains began to vanish one by one. It was not the Chinese military or the weather that caused the disappearance of the Red Cross workers, but an alien Yeti. In Hollywood, the script of Disgusting was called on par with Predator in the Snow, and was considered a very promising project. But after another Van Damme failure, Universal Studios was afraid to allocate $50 million for the actor, and the project's development was quickly shut down. It's hard to say whether the Snow Predator could have saved Van Damme's career, or simply become another failure for him. Within Van Damme's hands, such a plot could easily become an unwatchable C-rated movie. But with luck, the tape could be successful, and we would all get another good sci-fi action movie. But things could have gone differently if Van Damme had chosen Mortal Kombat in the mid-90s. We could have all gotten a completely different second Mortal Kombat, which even with its remarkable quality, has grossed more in US movie theaters than any Van Damme movie since Street Fighter. But we have what we have. Since choosing Street Fighter, Van Damme quickly faded away. Mortal Kombat, although performing well in theaters, did not become any kind of breakthrough either for the studio or any of the actors. In the mid-90s, a face of a movie star on the poster gave more perks than it does these days, and Mortal Kombat could have grossed a more impressive amount in movie theaters. So with Mortal Kombat, we could have gotten a natural blockbuster with a reasonable budget, which is not what we got in the end. The bottom line here is that Van Damme screwed up his career, all by himself. But he screwed it up because of an inflated sense of self-importance. not because of stupid role choices. The choice of Street Fighter was not stupid. 99% of those people who, knowing the final result, scream about how dumb Van Damme is for not choosing Mortal Kombat, they would have made exactly the same choice in 1993. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe, and stay tuned.